easiest way to get into the meditative state is to begin by listening. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, just listen to the general hum, buzz of the world, as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Simply close your eyes. So-called inside world come together.
Welcome to Derbyshire, more specifically the Amber Valley, on what is a beautiful evening. It really is. So, it's a work night. I thought, the weather's looking reasonable. Over the last 6 or 7 days, it's been really hit and miss. We've had a lot of rain. There's a lot of rain heading off towards the east now, over towards Hardwick, and I've got quite lucky actually on my way up. I parked the car in a village nearby and I've just had a nice meandering 2-hour walk around about 10 kilometres, and here we are, back at one of my favourite places on earth that I've visited so far. Who knows? Yeah, I love this place. I've done many videos from here. There's probably not an angle of this place I haven't videoed, photographed or spoke about over the years. People that have followed my channel for many moons will no doubt recognise this place. But if you're new to the channel, behold. I love it here. Absolutely love it. I'm going to bivvy tonight. That's the plan. Bivvy, look up at the stars and keep my fingers firmly crossed that we don't get any rain. We may get a little, during the night, but I'm not too worried. The Alpkit Hunker XL will protect me. I have faith. Do you know what? I'm going to celebrate and crack open a beer, I think. Let's relax. As always, I'm going to plonk myself under the tree here, under the mighty silver birch that when we first started coming up here was about, maybe about 1 metre tall, and now look at it. It's certainly grown. I've got the trusty old Osprey Exus 48 with me, and inside the Hunker XL we're going to get down to about 1 or 2 degrees, so I've got an extra down jacket, my Van Gogh winter sleeping bag and a few more layers. I'm not sure if you can see it down there, but Ogston Reservoir, the boats are going backwards and forwards. It's quite breezy this evening, but because the wind's coming in from the west, I'm quite sheltered here, so it's going to be a nice still night. It's good to be back up here. I came a walk up here a few weeks ago and it was really nice and warm. In April, it's now May the 5th, in April we had a really great spell of weather here in the UK and it was perfect for camping, but because of lockdown restrictions, I decided against it. The moment they were lifted though, we did head to Bamford Edge, and it was still quite cold actually that particular night, a nice frost, but I'm trying to stay away from the Peak District at the minute, or at least the hot spots. We risked it on Bamford Edge that night, the moment the lockdown was lifted, but over the last couple of weeks I've been hearing stories, rumours from people on the internet saying that groups are getting turned away, and from what I can hear, people are getting turned away by rangers, landowners for wild camping in the hot spots in the Peak District like Bamford Edge. So at the moment I'm going to stay clear, or if I do camp in the peaks, I'm going to make sure that I'm up on the moors. That's always the best way to be. Try and walk at least an hour or so away from the car. That's the problem with places like Bamford Edge. It's so Instagrammable, and it's so close to the car, or where you can park the car. You can park down in Bamford or on the road that heads up towards Stanage from the Yorkshire Bridge Inn, and you can literally be at one of the most spectacular views in the Peak District within 10 minutes of the car. So you can understand why that place gets busy. As it's a work night though, I've parked the car. I need to be at work for 8:30 in the morning, give or take. I've got to get changed when I get there, get a shower. So I'm going to set off from here about 6 in the morning, something like that. The sun rises at around about 5:25. So fingers crossed we get a decent sunrise over towards the west there. Always a great sunrise from here if the weather's right. But yeah, 2-hour walk, something like that. So I need to set off from here at 6, get back to the car, and it's about 15 minutes to work from here. It's just perfect. Perfect location for a midweek solo camp. It's a solo camp because Steph's in New Zealand for 5 weeks. She's currently in isolation there for the 2 weeks before going to see family. So I'm on my lonesome for 5 weeks. Although my brother and I are going to Scotland next week. We've not done a trip for maybe about 12, 13 years, something like that. And the last one we did was to Scotland, to Fort William. And that's where we're heading next week. Fingers crossed for good weather. It's around about 8:20 now and the sun is dropping off. And, well, it's really hard to not wax lyrical about this place. Amber Valley, the River Amber, running up the valley here. The source is probably about 2 miles up there. The River Amber runs down to Ambergate where it joins the Derwent. Through Ogston Reservoir as well. I've walked up just below the reservoir wall there. And I have to stop myself. The colour's down towards Ashover now. I did quite a bit of close-up shots of spring in bloom. Because it was quite dry in April, we didn't really get the full force of spring kicking in. We got the daffodils and the bluebells started to come through, but as it's rained this last week or so, spring just seems to have burst into life. The trees are starting to really come into like colour now. The leaves are starting to come through. It almost looks like autumn now at the moment because they've got some oranges and reds, but and this is before drinking a few cans of Stouffer Press. You can tell I love it here. Over the next few weeks, in between the Scotland trip, while I'm at work, I'm going to try and do some more camps up here and probably some down in the valley, and we might get into the peaks on a work night for a quick bivvy. Look at the colours. Time to get pitched up, I think. The sun's almost set, so I doubt anyone else is going to come up now. As always, we've got the same old kit. Nothing really changes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it or replace it. Alpkit Hunker XL, the Vango Ultralight 1300, although I am considering replacing that. But never replacing the trusty Thermarest Venture WV. It's been good to me, very good. Bliss, absolute bliss. And it's food time. Let's get the trusty jet boil fired up. It's dropping cold quickly now. Be nice to get some warm food inside me. It's due to go down to about 1 degree, I think, 1 or 2. So that's why I bought the winter sleeping bag. I'm not going to wax lyrical, I'm not going to do it. Any more than I already have. It's looking and smelling good. Spinach gnocchi with tomato sauce. Cheers, Jamie. Whew. It's getting dark really quickly now. I've said it already, but it's so good to be out. I was on Kinder, Steph and I were a few weeks ago for a bit of a walk, and there were some people out wild camping. I was quite jealous, but this is good enough for me. I enjoy camping on Kinder. I love it on Bleaklow Stones especially. The further away from a road I can get, the better. But you know what? On a work night, something like this is just perfect. I don't have to save it up to be in the Peak District or anything like that. Just get out. That's the best idea. Find somewhere you like the look of locally and just head for it. Bivvy. If there's not much space, just bivvy. We came up here as kids, but I revisited the place by looking at maps. I bought a map of the area, looked at contour lines, was looking at like places I thought that might be good for a camp, and we came and walked up here. I'll throw in some video now of the first time I ever recorded anything. My friend Steve-O, Jay, and I think it was Daz that day? Yeah, it was. We were in training for a Scotland trip, and we just came up here from Jay's house, walked it up, and yeah, it was a great day, some great memories. And in that video, there'll be a little snippet of the tree when it was quite small. It doesn't have to be an epic camp in the Peak District on a huge mountain somewhere. It can be a local one, and I do appreciate the fact that I'm quite lucky to live so close to this place, but just get the map out and look for somewhere. I get a lot of messages, you know, quite a few a week, but I don't recommend spots anymore. The reason being, you never know who you're recommending to. I always point people in the direction of a page that I've got on my website called Wild Camping and Leave No Trace, that like talks about the ethos of Leave No Trace, which is the most important principle when spending time outdoors. I think I mentioned it in a video a few weeks ago that during lockdown there's been a great increase in people enjoying the outdoors, and that's a really good thing. But with that, there has been an increase in litter, an increase in damage, an increase in fires and things like that, and that is not good at all. Get a map, look for somewhere nice, stay away from roads, try and stay stealth, hidden and out of the way, and just enjoy your time outdoors. Leave no trace. It wasn't a rant really, that was it. I've been thinking about it a lot just recently, you know, because it goes hand in hand with people being turned away from the hot spots in the Peak District. I do fear that these beauty spots are attracting a very small minority of the wrong sort of crowd. Case in point, the Bushcraft Forest just behind me. That's now closed off, private land, no camping allowed. I've not camped in there for about 3 years since the signs went up. But that was a victim of its own success. I've since read various things on forums. I think people had posted that as a location for illegal raves and stuff, and we've been there so many times over the years, spent so many hours and made so many memories, and now it's gone. So respect the outdoors, please. Okay, right. less of the seriousness. Let's enjoy the views. Fingers crossed we're going to get some stars in a moment. I'm not quite sure what phase the moon's at the minute, but I think we'll set the tripod up for a bit of a time lapse.
I want you to listen to the sound of my voice just as if it were noise. Don't try to make any sense out of what I'm saying. You don't have to try to understand anything. Simply close your eyes.
Good morning. And it is a good morning. There's a little bit less cloud than I thought there was going to be. It's now about 5:30, something like that, and I could have sworn the sunrise was about 5:25, so I set my alarm for 10 past. Had a quick look out, and we were almost there, so I had to dive out of the bivvy, set the camera up for the quick time lapse. There is quite a thick layer of clouds, so there's only really a short window there for the time lapse. We've got some rain off to the north there, but I seem to have got away with it unscathed. It did rain for a little while, like very lightly, during the night, so I'm glad that I put the tarp up, but then soon after that it froze, so we've got a layer of like frost on the tarp. That's quite a good night's sleep actually, to be honest. Better than most in the bivvy. Especially that spot there, it's on a bit of a hill. So you tend to like slide down to a point. So to like get ahead of the game, and now I'm like heading down to that point that I usually slide down to. So yeah, it was quite good actually. I didn't go to sleep till gone midnight. So it's going to be interesting to work today. I'll just have to load up with the coffee. But I feel quite good. I feel very refreshed. I'm going to pack away quickly because, yeah, it's about 2 hours walk. Trying to get back to the car for 8 o'clock so I can get to work before 8:30. That's the plan. Okay, let's pack away. It's now 6 a.m. I've packed everything away. Left no trace whatsoever, that's key. Leave no trace. And it's time to get moving. Some nice, I think it looks like snow actually. Given the temperature, there's a bit of frost on the ground over there still. Yeah, it's probably snow. Be interesting if the electric fence wasn't there. Bless you. It smells beautiful through here. I can smell that sweet smell of the bluebells and also the that distinctive smell of the wild garlic. It's lovely. The reservoir's very low at the minute. The Derwent and Howden res were quite low last weekend as well. We could do with some rain overnight, not in the daytime. And that's it. We've climbed up the hill and we're almost back at the car now. So I think I'll leave you here. Just a bit of main road, another 100 meters and I'm back. It's around about 7:30, so I've made a really good time. That might leave me enough time to go and get some food before work and then go about my day. Thank you for watching. It's been great to talk to the camera again while out wild camping. I do love a solo camp. It's great to get that headspace, and I hope if you've watched this far you didn't mind that little bit of a rant there about leave no trace. Not really a rant, it's more of a position that I'm sticking to. Leave no trace when out in the outdoors and take only pictures, leave only footprints. Is that the one they say? Yeah. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Don't hurry anything. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about what progress you're making. Just be entirely content to be aware of what is.